jitters out, get the jitters out. Hey guys, it's Macho with Macho Motors here, working on a 2008 Mazdaspeed 3. Plenty of you guys have seen it in the back of the videos or maybe even hooked up onto the trailer, and that's because I've had this car for almost a year already. Yes, a year, and it's still floating on jack stands and the wheels off the car. I just want to say that this car, I was planning to be my project car for the channel, but things have changed. We picked up a new one that's hinting into the back. So some of the repairs in this video are very questionable. So keep that in mind when we're watching this video, that it was planned to be my project car. So let's jump back in time to when I first picked up the Mazdaspeed 3. Let's get into it. Rise and grind, ladies and gentlemen. It is another beautiful day here in Macho Motors. After some amazing past flips, we are on our way to see another car. Currently, there is no auctions in sight for the near future. So we are on our way to pick up a car from person to person, doing it the old fashioned way. You know how we do it, baby. Haven't seen it in person. Think it's a little rough around the edges, not gonna lie, but for the price, we cannot beat it as long as it runs and drives. So on our way now to pick it up. Appreciate you being a real person with a real car and a real title and all that stuff, because you know how it is. And here is what we picked up, a 2005 Mazdaspeed 3. Yes, she's a little rough. The previous owner went to town with the rattle can special and tried to hide some rust here. Rear bumper needs a little bumper clip in there and she'll be all right. This side, just as bad. It looks like they tried to fender flare it and didn't go well, so he did a spray paint job there again. Dents on the door, and this is the worst fender. Should have did a spray paint special there, but he didn't. But overall, if you take a step back and squint really hard, we picked up this baby with 160,000 miles for the low price of $2,900. Tires look pretty good. Interior is pretty standard, dirty, but standard Mazdaspeed interior. Got the beautiful Bose sound system. 6-speed manual, 161,000 miles. Working AC. And we got a few Christmas lights. So we got a brake light, ABS light, TPMS, traction control, and airbag special here. Not to mention, there is a crack in the windshield that I didn't notice till the end. So, is she perfect? No. But was she $2,900 for a 260 horsepower turbocharged vehicle? Yes, she was. And she runs phenomenal. I'm just curious about this spot. So we have a little bit of gloss clear coat. We're gonna see how this looks. I will say, I was about to buy a whole new fender. I don't think we're buying a new fender anymore. Hold up, watch this. That looks pretty good. Oh my gosh. I'm really impressed of what I just did. Oh wait, we missed the spot right there. Holy crap. Not too bad. Got a little bit more on the A-pillar here. Giving that landlord special. Is this dirt? A little dirt. Well, clear coat will clean that right up. Landlord special. What a crazy improvement that is. We are going to do the first mod to the car, but before we do that, we need to get into... Oh crap. This sucks, but... So I was gonna say let's clean the car up, but I ended up locking the keys in the car, so your boy had to do what you gotta do. Locksmith was $200. Replacing that window, it's gonna cost me 40 bucks. So did what I had to do. Let's get into cleaning up the mess. So after cleaning the glass the best I can, there's still tons of little tiny pieces in here. So I only got one other idea to remove all the glass without just using a leaf blower to throw it all out. And that works surprisingly well. Now that we got that minor mishap over and done with, it's time to modify the Mazdaspeed 3. So I took this out of my last project car and I've been waiting for the right project car to put another one back in. So here it is. Wha-bam! Japanese floor mats. Hoo-wee! That's looking pretty good. Just imagine. You're my passenger. You see the windows broken. You're like, oh, I could tell you spray painted that clear coat. It looks real raggedy. You come inside and boom. You see these floor mats? You're like, wow. You must get a lot of... Man, I love the new appointments because I was in and out. Got the plate in hand for the Mazdaspeed. Let's have a great day. So this box just came in. It is for the Mazdaspeed 3. I'm a little worried because there is a hole right here, which doesn't give me the biggest hope that it made it through shipping. All right, tons of packaging, tons of bubble wrap. Oh, this is a lot. I'm definitely gonna reuse this bubble wrap because it is so much. We're gonna leave this here on this very nicely padded surface and work on the door panel. Glass holders that we're removing, and it's literally just shattered glass at this point. So we're gonna remove those and get the clips out and put the new one in. So now I'm gonna just vacuum the little bit of glass that's left. Anything that's down in there is lost into the void because I don't feel like taking off that extra panel. Easy peasy. Look at that. All right, so we got the glass all lined up here. Just got to bolt it up and see if it works. So while I was trying to put it on, unfortunately, I dropped the bolts down into the abyss. I removed the speaker. Now I'm looking for the bolt, which is way back there. And while we're in here, we might as well vacuum up the glass. And here's what we're looking like after. Bolts recovered. Got them installed on the window. The moment of truth. Got everything plugged up. Will the window work? So the window won't go up because I put it in the wrong crevice. Obviously, it's supposed to be right here in between these, and instead it's in between the window trim and the weather stripping. So, I gotta take this apart and do it all over again. Take the number 2, the moment of truth. Look at that. And back down. And just like that, we got the window, door panel, everything back on. With the new window, every time I try to roll it down, it gets stuck, which I'm pretty sure is from all this glue residue that you guys can't see from the shipping. I've been driving around the Mazdaspeed for a little while, and I went to drive it this morning and it would not start. Luckily, it was just loose battery cables, so we tightened those up and now that's good to go. And I've noticed that it's been having clunky suspension. Overall, this side looks pretty good, but then I went over to this side and I don't know what's going on. I've never seen this, but this is extremely loose, like hand tight. So that can't be good. We're gonna tighten that up and see if that fixed anything, but why is everything so loose on this car? It makes me a little worrisome. I went to check this side, and surprisingly, this is me putting in no effort. This side was loose too. Now it's tight. Tighten this by hand first. And of course, they're different sizes. What is going on with this suspension? So I don't know exactly how long it's been since that last video, but I know it has been months since we worked on the Mazda. And pretty much from this point on, the video is starting from scratch. There's a lot of wind, don't mind the hair. Let's see if it'll even start after so long. Clutch in, key in. Beautiful, just how I remember her. So we have the car hooked up to a battery charger, and while that's going on, we're gonna start getting rid of some of the lights that I remember the car had on the dash. So as soon as I took off the wheel, I found some interesting discoveries, starting with the wheel speed sensor. It's not even really connected. I didn't press the plug at all. And when you look at the actual sensor, it looks like it's completely crushed. I don't even know how that happened. Genuinely don't think a rock could have hit it or anything, but we do have a new wheel speed sensor for this, so that should take away our code. But I also found the possible reason for our clunking at full throttle, and I'm pretty sure this CV axle is broken. Definitely gonna replace this and check the other side as well, because this one is probably borderline gonna explode. So here's a better look at the connector. It is completely exploded, and this has a reverse E-Torx bolt, which I don't have a socket for. So we're going in with an extremely small 3/16 and hope for the best with removing that bolt. I was already scared of rounding out the bolt because I have the wrong socket. So I already broke it loose, luckily, very, very carefully and very slowly. Just super, super tiny bolt head. Or maybe it was just so rounded off from previous owners trying to take it off. I don't know. But we got the bolt out, and sometimes with the wheel speed sensor, it is super stubborn to take off. Soak in, little buddy, soak in. All right, I have a pair of locking pliers on. I'm able to twist it. So I'm hoping with enough twisting, we'll be able to pull it out. Hey, if you guys know wheel speed sensors, sometimes they're just a complete pain and destroy themselves. But luckily this one was able to come out, but you could see that rust that was holding it on right there. And I bought this part several months ago, so I'm happy that I was just able to find it. Looking pretty similar to me, but this is what I was talking about here, where the connectors are completely different because this one is shattered to pieces and not locking at all or making a connection to the ABS wire. And this one is beautiful and intact. Don't know why the previous owner didn't replace this, because this is a relatively easy fix, but that's why you got Macho Motors doing it for you. Let's pop in the new sensor and hopefully there's no more codes. And it's fully seated. And ideally I would like to replace the bolt, but I don't have another one, so we're going in with the same sketchy bolt that we already have. Click, click, click. I should have tested if the connector fits the new sensor, but I already put it in, so we're gonna go in and hope for the best. All right, we have the ABS sensor connected to the ABS sensor wire, but do we have the ABS light and traction control light and all those lights? So let's see. All right, so I remember last time with the Mazda 5, all we did was reverse out of my driveway and the light went away. So let's see if that ABS and traction control light goes away. We're now out of the driveway and we still have the light on, but short drive. So unfortunately, after that short drive, we still have the ABS and traction control light. So I have my OBD2 scanner here, and I'm gonna try to clear out the codes and see if they immediately come back like they were doing before. But they're coming back immediately for a right rear wheel speed sensor. So were both of them damaged? All right, let's take the wheel off the rear right and see if there's any issues. All right, we are looking at this for the first time together, and I don't see any obvious wheel speed sensor. I think this is the e-brake and this is the brake line, or vice versa. And then I don't see any other electrical wires nearby. So either they cut it or I'm looking at the wrong thing. But the OBD2 scanner definitely said right rear. All right, so I was able to find it and it is right back here. I did a little tug on it and it is not connected to anything. So either we have the same exact issue as the front, or this just isn't connected. So I'm gonna get a better angle and get underneath the car and see if we can reconnect it. Tough to see, but we are behind the brake caliper and we are going in, and look at that. For some reason, they don't even have a wheel speed sensor on this one. I don't know what's going on with this car, but it's seeming a little sketchier the more I dig into it. I don't know what else to do besides buy a new wheel speed sensor and put it on. So far, we need one speed sensor and one CV axle. I'm gonna check the passenger side CV axle and see if we need that as well. And it's looking pretty okay, so I don't think we're gonna touch this side and just do the driver's side. Luckily underneath here looks relatively clean, no leaks, no drips, no nada. But what's this weird wire just hanging out here? I don't know. We might have to investigate that a little later. All right, this was way more work than necessary, but we have the new wheel speed sensor in. Now it's just time to check if our code has gone away. And look at that, no codes on the OBD2 scanner. And finally, no ABS or traction control light on the dash. So huge, huge, huge win. I don't understand why they didn't just put in a new sensor and be done with it, but very simple fix that they could have definitely done themselves, but happy to have one less light on the dash. And I forgot to show you guys, here's the update if you're planning on doing a landlord special clear coat job on the fender and A-pillar, and this is the result you'll get after a few months. It could be a mixture of my lack of prep work or just using very cheap clear coat, because I think this could have worked with some better clear coat, something that's a little bit more sustainable, that lasts a little bit better, because on this part here, it doesn't look too bad, especially when you compare it to the dull paint. So we are gonna retry to paint this fender and do it the right way this time, since we're probably not keeping this car. Also, I wanted input for you guys on this hood. Should I just replace it? Because all of this has like tiny cracks throughout the entire paint, which I've never seen before. And I started to peel it up a little bit, and there's still more cracks even underneath it that you can see, underneath the clear coat. So, not really sure if this hood is even salvageable. There's even more cracking here, which is pretty bad. So, I don't know. Let me know what you would do. Should I replace the hood, which is kind of expensive, or is this salvageable? Can I sand this all the way down to base coat or whatever? So now you're caught up on everything with the Mazdaspeed, and now we're at current timeline. So right now, I still have plenty of repairs to do on it, so we're going to finish it all up in next week's video. Yes, I'm sorry, but next week's video, I gotta milk this car. I ain't got any other cars, okay? So we're milking the Mazdaspeed 3 for a little bit while we finish up on all the repairs, and there's still plenty more to come, trust me. A lot of unexpected things happen while we're repairing the Mazdaspeed 3, so that'll be coming up in next week's video. So as always, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate all your comments, likes, subscribes, everything. So thank you so much for being a part of the Macho Motor journey, and I'll catch you in next week's video. Peace! I can't wait for you guys to see all the frustration I've been through with this future video coming up, because boy, was it a lot. But I'll catch you guys next week.